make a New Year resolution, but be honest with yourself. If you never ever worked out before and you're 25 and now this year you want to start working out 6 days a week, probably not gonna happen.
Yeah. What pisses me off about New Year's resolutions, like people will make them, and then like in February they don't look at them anymore. It's like, dude, like, do you want it or not, right?
Exactly. It's think about longevity. Like, okay, I want to be healthy for my family. I want to be healthy for my kids. I want to be healthy so I can enjoy the time with other people. And like when you start thinking in that way, people hate on New Year's resolutions. Like people like act like you're gonna be the exact same person as last year. I think there is some truth to that. Like you're not gonna become this entirely new person, but I think it's good to set goals. Like it's good to have things you strive for, right? Mm-hmm. So for some people, me specifically, like my birthday is around that period, and for my birthday and New Year's being together, it gives you like a certain renewed motivation and renewed like sense of desire to want to achieve certain things. So I use it. I ride that wave. I set my new goals. I start going to the gym more, and I don't say, oh, I'm not gonna change anyway, so I just sit on my ass. like I actually use that to my advantage, and I always encourage every person. Like every New Year's, a new person reaches out to me, train me, and I don't say no. I won't be like, well, you didn't want to train last year, so this year you want to train? No, you're not gonna change. I take them on and I help them set realistic goals, and we work together and we push through. But for me specifically, New Year's resolution, this is quiet as kept. I'm not really broadcasting it out there, but I'm planning on doing a bodybuilding competition in May 25th. So like, yeah, that's what I'm kind of training for right now. And I'm starting my cut and everything. It's going good. Like it's always been like a week or so, but that's my new goal. And like I said, like I always try to take on something new. Probably when I'm done that, I'll take on something new again. Just cause I went to watch a bodybuilding competition last year, and I was like, damn, this is a different sport. This is more than just going to the gym. There's a lot more than, like, you see it sometimes. We watch Mr. Olympia every now and then. You see the Ronnie Colemans and Jay Cutlers and Phil Heaths and all those or Arnold, and you see all those classic guys, and you think, oh, like we could just work out and look like them, but there's so much we don't think about. And I think I'm very excited for the things I'm going to learn. So that's my New Year's resolution of some sorts. How about you? Any New Year's resolution?
Pretty much or
how do you feel about them in general?
Yeah, I'll just say how I feel about them, and then I'll go into
go ahead.
I feel like mixed reviews on them. Like I definitely agree. Like some people kind of, what pisses me off about New Year's resolutions, like people will make them, and then like in February they don't look at them anymore. It's like, dude, like, do you want it or not, right?
Exactly.
It's kind of like it's one of those things. I'm not gonna lie, I was one of those people who would like make these New Year's resolutions and I wouldn't hit it, but eventually, you know, it's gonna piss you off when you don't reach those goals, right? And I feel like, I don't know, it's just one of those things where like, I have nothing really too much against it, but when I see people posting New Year, New Me, and they're doing all this stuff, and then when I know they're like January hustlers and they're February,
next month you're not gonna see them again. Yeah,
it's like, dude, like, do you know how this looks?
Yeah, exactly. You look like you're somebody that doesn't finish what you say you started. Like I get what you're saying, but how do you have any actual resolution or?
Yeah, I do actually. I have like, for like kind of basic ones. Like obviously you want to grow more on like social media, stuff like that. Just trying to learn more about content creation, maybe stuff like, and like in terms of like fitness journey, I wanna start training more like an athlete. I want to be, because for the past couple of years I've been just trying to gain muscle hypertrophy, kind of look more like aesthetic, but now I want to be able to like run faster, jump higher, just be athletic. And like I want to be able to be like a I think they would call it a hybrid athlete, to do like You know, I train like a bodybuilder, but I'm also like athletic.
Yeah. That's really cool, man. Yeah, definitely. Like, it's good to set those goals, and yeah, I think you remember you saying something about that because you play basketball and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that would definitely translate really well for sure. So, that's pretty good, man. If you like have any tips or you need any tips, let me know. I think I have a thing or two to say about like plyometric training. Like, I have some ideas, But anyway, that's cool, man.
I'm definitely gonna need those too, because like I'm still like, when it comes to like training like an athlete, like I know like basic stuff like because I did like some basketball stuff, but I think there's so much I need to learn about like training like an athlete. I feel like it's different than training like a bodybuilder. Like
it's definitely way different. It's completely different. And like, because athletic training, like bodybuilding is actually older than plyometric training. And we've been doing bodybuilding for like maybe 80 years plus now, like since the 40s. But like athletic training specifically, plyometrics is maybe 40 years old. So like there's a lot of new research and new studies, new ways of training, new techniques coming out, and like you can always continuously educate yourself. And like obviously you see how the NFL basketball players, they're training. If you look at how Kobe trained versus how LeBron's training, it's different. Like it's because it's ever evolving, right? So like, there's definitely a lot you can learn with those things there. But once you start getting into it, you read more, you research more, you learn a few things. I know definitely I'll be more than happy to.
Do you think it's possible to like bulk and like train like an athlete at the same time? Is that possible?
It is, but it's super injury prone. Because what's gonna happen is, as if you're bulking, lots of athletes do this. Like NFL players are forced to do this all the time because they give, like, let's say if a receiver is getting forced to move to tight end, then they're gonna be like, okay, you have to gain 30 pounds off season, and while then getting 30 pounds, you have to stay fast, athletic. So they are forced to do both at the same time. But what happens is your tendons, your joints, they're not used to that level of stress. So when you're doing all that plyometric training, simultaneously adding weight, your body's going to be like, whoa, what's going on? Because you're already doing all these plyometric training, trying to strengthen your tendons and joints. And now you're adding more weight to it at the same time. It's really, I wouldn't recommend it. Like I would say maintain your weight, and like you can build muscle at your weight. But
or also, like main gain.
Maintain your weight and try to build muscle.
So for example, if I'm bulking right now, so I should just focus on the bulk, and then when I'm on the cut, then I can jump into the size.
Or you can, exactly that. Or you can maintain and try to, if you don't want to lose too much muscle, you can maintain and do your plyometrics, right? But I wouldn't recommend. It's like kind of working in opposite directions as well, because what you need for plyometrics is kind of different for what you need for a bulk. When you're bulking, you want to focus on strength specifically. Like there is some explosive training with strength, but it's not really explosive training. You're just looking for strength, like complete power output, rather than like explosiveness. That's completely different. So you don't want to do both at the same time, in my opinion. Like I'm sure there are people who have done it and have been fine, but if you talk to the players who have had to do it over and over again, they'll tell you the horror stories where their knee goes out or shoulder injury or whatever. So no, I would say just focus on one not both at the same time.
So say for example, I'm in a bulk season, and then next season, then I go into a cut season, and I do plies. And what if I want to go on another bulk? Would I just stop doing the plies for a bit?
Like I'll just say slow down on it. Like, okay, this is what I would say. Don't add new things. So don't do stuff that you're not already used to. Like I'd say if you had a 35-inch vert, keep jumping 35 inches. Don't stop jumping, right? Because you want to keep that, but don't start training to get a 40-inch vert while simultaneously trying to bulk, add 20 pounds on your body, on your frame at the same time. Like you just want to maintain like your explosiveness while trying to add on muscle, rather than trying to increase your explosive ability while also adding, like, you know what I mean? So just do one, maintain the other, do one, So yeah, that's my little input on it. And it's funny you're asking me this. People I want to say like people who aren't as educated, no offense to you, but like people who are as educated with how the body works often want to combine many goals together all at the same time.
Yeah.
Like I want to increase my deadlift while losing weight, while getting cardiovascularly fit, while jumping higher, I'm like, okay, some of these goals don't work together. Like let's pick two of them that work together in your favor so you can have the highest level of success or highest chance at success. And then once you get to that goal and you're satisfied and you're happy, you can pivot. Right? Pivot and say, okay, now let me focus on this. Now let me try and do something else that I actually want to achieve and maintain those. Like you don't have to lose everything you now worked for. You can still maintain it, but you cannot achieve something else. But I literally was talking to a client today and she was like, oh, I want to do this and that and this and that. And I'm like, okay, we can't do everything all at the same time. It's just not going to work. Like if, for instance, if you have 20 years of experience, then you have that muscle memory built up. So it might be more likely, it might be easier. You have that determination, you have the behavior already in you. It's easy for you to do. But if you're like new to a lot of these things, then they're going to just butt heads. You're going to drop one eventually. And then look, at the end of the year, you look back and you're going to be unhappy. So because you wanted to achieve this thing, but from the start, it wasn't really realistic, So, setting realistic goals, as much as I think that's my only caveat with New Year resolutions, going back to that, is make a New Year resolution, but be honest with yourself. Yeah. Like if you never ever worked out before and you're 25 and now this year you want to start working out 6 days a week, probably not going to happen. Yeah. It's probably only going to last 3 or 4 weeks and then you'll stop. It's not even entirely your fault. It's just your body's not going to want that. Like eventually your soreness is going to accumulate. You might attain an injury. Like other life stuff will happen. Set a realistic goal. Be like, okay, maybe 2 workouts a week is where I'll start. And then as I do my 2 workouts, or maybe I will eliminate soda from my diet. Start with that. Start slow. And set realistic goals. And everybody's different. Some people will start slow and get results really fast. And some people will start fast and get results really slow. So don't really compare yourself to anyone. Just start slow, look at your own behaviors, and pick something realistic that you can add seamlessly into your life. I think that's how to go with that.
I definitely agree with that. It kind of segues into my other topics I was going to touch on, was like what motivates you to go to the gym and stuff like that. Like some people like who are just starting off and they're like in the 20, like you said, 25, whatever. Like, for example, like, I like a lot of guys will ask me like, how do you go to the gym every day? How do you stay motivated? Where is this coming from? You know what I mean? But it's one of those things where it's like, I feel like me telling people what motivates me is not going to work for them, because I feel like everybody's motivated by different things.
Yes.
So you got to find what is it for you.
Yeah. Exactly that. I completely could not agree more with that statement. And like a lot of it too is like just habit. Like most days, yesterday I went to the gym at 11. I did not want to go. Like I just was like, if I don't go today, I'm going to wake up tomorrow and be like, why didn't I go?
Yeah.
Because it's such a part of my identity at this point. And that's why last time on the podcast, I remember saying, and maybe I'll stitch these 2 videos together, but I remember saying like, to create that habit and make it a part of your identity, just go to the gym and don't work out. Just go make a habit of going.
Yeah.
So, and eventually once you master that habit, add a new habit. Okay, I'm going to do a 20-minute workout, and then master that habit, and then keep on adding onto it as you go. But like, if you decide to try and do everything all at once, it's going to become overwhelming really, really fast. So that's, for me, a lot of the time, I'm just like, okay, I just need to drive to the gym, get in, change. And literally, an hour goes by, I'm done my workout. I'm like, oh, I forgot. Like I didn't even have to think about the rest. I just had to focus on driving to the gym and changing. That's my habit that I need to focus on. Everything takes into overdrive. I just kind of do it naturally. I push myself naturally because I'm used to that.
Yeah.
The hard part is just getting there for me. So yeah, I think that's, and like you said, I understand what motivates me. So I'm not going to give that to someone else. That might not work for someone. Just driving to the gym might not work for somebody else. Yeah. Like some people drive to the gym and just drive back home, right? So yeah, that might not work for everyone, right? So it's finding what you desire. Like, and I think a lot of people don't make your goals just about you, is what I'm starting to learn. Like, for instance, like think about longevity. Like, okay, I want to be healthy for my family. I want to be healthy for my kids. I want to be healthy so I can enjoy the time with other people. And like when you start thinking in that way, like for me, like a Christian, I'm thinking, oh, I want to preserve this body God gave me, you know? So like once you start thinking that way, you remove yourself out of the equation and it becomes less about you and more about preserving what you have been given, you know? So that's another way I like to think about it, but
yeah, definitely. Yeah. Like I definitely resonate with like with my motivation to go is like, I kind of resonate with that, like taking care of my body because like, God gave it to me and stuff. It's also just like fear of like, what's it called? When I get older and I'm old and I look back and I'd be like, man, like I wasted my potential. I didn't hit the mark. I wasted it. Like to me, that's like, that would suck.
Yeah, exactly.
And I just can't go out like that. That's
yeah. I always think that too. Like, and that's part of, I don't know if this is one of your questions for me, but people ask me why, like,
if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the full podcast, click right here.